We're going to go through the attributions of fake love and real love. We're going to turn water into wine. So starting out with our first attributions of fake love, it would be like when two people are feeling sorry for each other. You know, I would always tell people if they going to a wedding or, you know, they just boyfriend and girlfriend, I'd be like, hey, make sure it's real. Because if it's not, you know, hey, fake love ain't nothing but two people feeling sorry for themselves. So the difference between feeling sorry and empathy and compassion. Empathy and compassion looks like, okay, you got a problem. Well, let's use it in this instance. She got a problem, he got a problem, right? Okay, so y'all come together, right? And y'all reason together. It's empathy and compassion. Y'all reason with each other and come up with a solution. That solution don't work the first time. Hey, y'all come up with another solution. Because you remember, we got to think of it in terms like this. You two are the potter, he and she. And the situation is the clay, right? So y'all got to keep being the yin and the yang, going back and forth till y'all get the perfect consistency. Let's make it make sense. Let's keep rightly dividing the truth. For the people in the back who don't understand, we have to come together and reason together. We have to disagree to agree respectfully when adversity arises and when obstacles appear. And that's right. So as we do this, the two, him and her, they come together and they keep coming up. And they're going to get the right solution, right? Because as we know, it's when God knows himself. So, going over to feeling sorry, right? Feeling sorry would be like, as we know, the opposite of that. Feeling sorry would look like this. Like we say, for the ones who don't understand, say it louder for the ones in the back. Those who hardest to love need it the most. Life, it takes you many places, but only love brings you back home. So here we are, at home. So, feeling sorry looks like when one would say, hey, she got a problem, he got a problem. He come to her, she come to him about her problem. She venting, he come to her about his problem, and he venting. But at the end, they don't want to come up with a solution. It's just a pity party, you know. And her and him are just feeling sorry for each other. And then after a while, in the back of their mind, both of them gonna be like, hey, where is this going? Like, this ain't going nowhere, you know. They get to feeling sorry for one another. And that's pathetic. To feel sorry for another person or to feel sorry for yourself. So that's why it's a difference on having compassion and empathy for somebody. We just explained how that would look. So these two don't want no resolution. They just going through, you know, some fake love. So that's one attribution of fake love. Now we'll go on to the next one. So we still trying to work our way to the real love. We don't want to spend too much time. So y'all don't spend too much time in these fake love relationships. Hey, but hey, more than 7 watchmen on the wall. Only you know your own soul better than anybody. There's no rights. There's no wrongs. Hey, we all just learning. Remember, we never lose. Either we win or we learn. If you look at the L for loss, hey, you'll feel bad. If you look at the L's for learn, and you get through it and you learn from it. I remember my teacher was a nun, right, in 6th grade. She always said, hey, she said, it's good to make mistakes because you learn from mistakes. And I found it to be somewhat true, and I never forgot it. You know, I never really forget When people tell me things that's wise, it always stick with me. Even my loved ones when they died, you know, my grandmother and my grandpa, when they died, and it was like the things they were saying when they was here at the time, you know, like they say, hey, give them their roses while they're here, but a lot of times we don't do that. But then, in his name, in your name, I hear your voice telling me to play my part. Life is real and it's so hard. So it's like, I'm hearing all the wisdom. Remember, these are the gems, right? These are the gems that they're giving you. This is the inheritance. This is the rubies. These are the sapphires. This is the onyx, the titanium, you know, the emeralds. This is the gold, the platinum, the silver. I mean, it's at its highest. And these are the things you're getting not only from your parents, grandparents, cousins, friends, strangers. We don't really want to call people strangers, but I'm just saying, as you go in life, people are steady dropping messages and gems. And sometimes we don't end up like taking it into consideration because we telling ourselves like, it depends on who's saying it. And we don't supposed to look at it that. If it's a message, it's a message. But he told us it'll be like this. That's why they say, hey, you can't be a prophet in your own town. So go on the highways and byways and get whoever. I wanted my own. I chose my own, but they would not come. So it ain't personal though. Those who hardest to love need it the most. Life takes you many places, but only love brings you home. Our roses don't bloom at the same time, but all Israel shall be saved. Meaning, hey, everybody will get there just at a different pace. So it's always hope, faith, and most of all is greatest in all these things is love. That's why we here turn from water to wine. Let's make miracles. Love you. Love it, man. So we to the attribute, as we were saying, the next one would be this, right? So say you're in a situation where, okay, one might say, I don't want to be alone. And as we know, the scripture does say, man or even woman shouldn't be alone. And that is true. But we're going to rightly divide it. Like I said, once again, for those in the back who don't understand. So that's what he sends us for. Hey, I send you 2 by 2 to go out for the lost sheep of Israel. So here we are. So what we mean by being alone and being lonely, okay, it's a difference. And we're going to rightly divide it. And on top of that, we also want to say that that is a true statement. And we're not using no buts, but remember, all truths are nothing but half truth. Be careful of what you hear and how you hear it, right? And it also says be careful for nothing. But what we're talking about doesn't pertain to be careful for nothing at this particular segment, but it does. All things are needed, but let's stick to the point. So one would say, okay, if you got a group of guys or gals over here, right, and you, yourself, whether you're a man or a woman, you're sitting here, right, and they say, hey, look, we finna go rob a bank or we finna go kill somebody, right? Hypothetically speaking, this is for entertainment purposes when this is said. So one might say, okay, do I really want to go with these people to do something that doesn't seem like it's going to end well? Do I really want to be by myself? Or do I really want to have company? Do I really not want to be alone by myself that bad? Am I that lonely? Let's make it make sense. Let's rightly divide the truth. That's why I said all truths is nothing but half truths. So remember, it's always two sides to each coin. It's always, but we're going to bring it full circle. We're going to show you every dimension, every side, every corner, and every angle, so we can get the right consistency, right? Remember, we are the potter, and the situation is the clay. And we're going to work our salvation out in fear and trembling. So, with that being said, okay, so one thinks to themselves like, okay, now I already see how this going to end. I know how it's going to end. And if we do get away with it, I mean, at the same time, that's not something I'm willing to bank on or put myself in that type of situation. It's a different when I'm having hope and faith in something that takes you to the right where you need to be. But that's a different story. Although people can have faith and use it in those ways, and it gets them so far. But we all know that comes to the end. For the ones who know, for the ones who don't, some people are still experimenting, some people are still learning, but that's okay. Now let's get back to our learning. Let's not veer off. That's just another side, another angle I'll speak on sometime in the near future on another video. So, when that's being done, they're saying to themselves, hey, nah. So what I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna go. I'm not that lonely. It's not that bad. Well, I can't be alone. So remember the scripture, right? He says, for I am not alone, right? Remember when he said it? He was like, I didn't sit in a company with the scorners, the mockers, and the sinners, so forth and so forth, right? But I sit alone because of the hand. The hand is the truth. A parable meaning the truth. And we're going to go line for line, precept on precept. Here a little, there a little. Word upon word, precept on precept. Here it is. So he says in another particular thing, we cross references. We're bringing it all together, make it make sense. Because remember, let this word be in you, let this hope be in you. This is one love, this one truth. So he says, for I am not alone, for the Father is with me, my Godhead, my throne. To honor his blessings, at home we are resting, not weary because we can fly to this place in the sky, out of the cold from control, because of you I'm warm. The sun rays told the storm. That'll be in one of my upcoming books. So if you might have seen, I said description, then I went into a fragment of my poem. But all praise, our Father, Allah, he's great. But what I'm saying is, you choose this day whom you're going to serve. You have, and for future situations, choose this day whom you will serve. It's a choice. Whether you got a dime or a quarter in your pocket, or even if you're in a jail cell, you're in a pen, in a prison, penitentiary, whatever you want to call it. You still got a choice. Whatever situation you're in, you got a choice. You could be on a deserted island. You could be anywhere. You have a choice on the situation, on what you're going to do. You always got a choice, no matter what. No matter what. Love, no matter what, for that fact. But no matter what, you got a choice. Might not seem the choices that you in your mind at that time thinking that's worth choosing, or some people feel they don't have a choice regardless. But I'm here to tell you, you always have a choice. So, with that being said, you're not alone. And that comes in a situation when you have a man and you have a woman, right? And is the juice worth the squeeze? One would say, per se. I mean, for you to be in a situation that doesn't serve you at the appointed time, you know, and you have a choice. Now, you know, love gets, you know, never will I leave you and never will I forsake you. But you got a choice not to go along with stuff that don't serve you, right? Okay, excuse me. Moving on. So that would be the equation of you making that decision. So remember, this is an attribute of fake love. We rightly dividing the truth so you don't get it misconstrued and you don't, you know, you say to yourself, hey, is it worth it? Is the juice worth the squeeze? Is, you know, stand on your business. Be about your father's business. Stand on business. Be about your father's business. You may have many offices, you know, like my man watches. You might have a wife, a husband. You might have a job. You might have children. You might have grandparents. You might have all type of responsibilities. People depending on you. But you God's first. Shouts out to Watchmen again. You God's first. That's so true. So, what I want to say is, it's like, choose this day whom you will serve. The course we take is the love we make. So, there you have it. So, moving on to the next attribute of fake love. We would say, one would say, hey, you know, I know you since high school. You went off to college, I went off to college. You went around the world, I went around the world, right? You didn't find the person you wanted to be with, and I haven't either. And now we're both back here. So then they say to themselves, well, to each other rather, we might as well be with each other. Whether it's the man idea or the woman idea, whether she mentioned it first or he mentioned it first, or she agrees or he agrees, it always takes two, you know. So don't be out there living vicariously through other people, right? You want to live through Christ. You want to live through God. You want to live through the Lord. Don't be living momentarily, so to speak. Don't be going along to get along, getting along to go along, you know. Let God lead you, you know. So what I want to say is that when they say that to each other, they saying, okay, well, you know, neither one of them was their first choice, right? So basically, they're just settling, you know. So that's another attribution of fake love. Moving on. So the next attribution of fake love would be when one would say, well, you got benefits, right? You know, like finances or whatnot. And the other one looks at the other one and says, and I'm sexually attracted to you. And they think to themselves, okay, this is a reason we should be together. So they feel like they're joined to the hip on this. At least that's how everybody feels in fake love, you know. We feel like those are reasons, you know. So the next attribution of fake love, and we're wrapping fake love up now. we're about to wrap it up, but I'm gonna go with one attribute, and then we're gonna do the conclusion, so we can move on to real love, right? We gotta keep our eye on the prize, right? On the high calling. Think of things that are worthy of being praised. And yes, Lord, we should do that and be grateful. Today is the day we should be praised. So, the attribution would be this, right? This applies to some, and some it don't, which all the other things did. And I say this because some people at the stage, they haven't got to that part in their life, and and that's okay. But if it don't apply, let it fly, as they speak, so to speak, to say. But for the ones that it do apply to, and just because it don't apply to you, you can still see the vision on, people around you, having discernment, having an understanding, because to each one teach one, reach one, we all gonna need someone. We're gonna need somebody. We all gonna need a shoulder to lean on. We're gonna need God first, though. But when God speaks through people, what he say, my sheep, they hear my voice, another they will not follow. So we submit not ourselves just to the physical person, but we're submitting ourselves one to another, reverencing. We submit to the God in that woman. We submit to the God in that man. That's a form of submission. We'll talk about that a little bit more in the future, but just throwing it in to add on. So here it is, the last attribution of fake love. When people might say, okay, well, we have children together, or a child for some people. So that might be a reason, and that might not. And I'll lay that one on the lines between fake love and real love. And here's why. Because more than 7 watchmen on the wall, only you know your own soul better than anybody. So I'll leave that one right there. Now, here comes the conclusion. Now, and this thing we call fake love, right? It seems like everything is going good. Everybody knows this, right? Every relationship, no matter if it's come out good or bad, everything feel like it's good in the beginning, because whatever it is, there's whatever force, whatever magnetic fields or attraction that's bringing these people together, right? These two that supposed to become one flesh, supposedly mind, supposedly spirit, soul, mind, and body, the completion, so when this happens, it seems like it's going good, right? So everything in the beginning always seems like it's going good. We just had to pause and let everything sink in with everybody. Like, it's always feel like it's going good until this happens, right? Until a bump comes in the road, right? Until a storm comes, right? Until something to take our finances, right? Until somebody say something to come between us, right? Or somebody do something to come between us, right? Or we say something or do something for that effect to come between us, right? Okay. So when this happens, right, the man and the woman, they both look at each other, right? And they both point their finger at each other, right? With 4 fingers pointing back, right? And they say to each other, they like, no, why am I even messing with you? Like, how do I even know you? Like, I mean, how did we get here? I mean, like, I know I should have listened to what mama told me, or I know I should have listened to what daddy told me, or I know I should have listened to my first mind, or I know I should have listened to what such and such said. Now it's resentment and regret. Let's say it again for the people in the back. A little loud. Now it's resentment and regret. Now they starting to think about the things that got them. Wait, wait a minute. Let's say this. Before I say that, some people never think about it, right? Some people 80, 90, 100 years old, some are, some not, still, hypothetically speaking, still in these situations, right? Of fake love and not realizing it, right? They living momentarily, going along to get along, right? The blind can't lead the blind, right? Or they'll both fall in the ditch. So, like they say, here we are. So, with that being said, they end up, not realizing it, and they just live like that, right? Everybody know who it is, and some of you I'm speaking to as I speak now are living, well, that's not too much living, but are in that situation right now, as we should say on something like that, dying. But to die is gain. Hey, it's not a bad thing. Hey, I mean, it can't rain forever. Look, weeping endures for a night. Joy cometh in the morning. I mean, the thing about it is, you want, like the nun, Sister Tia Linda told me, hey, you want to learn from these things, right? It's good to make mistakes. You want to learn from them. Remember, we never lose. Either we win or we learn. So here it is again. Line up on line, precept on precept, here a little, there a little. There it is. Iron sharpen iron, right? So a man or a woman sharpen the comments of his friend. Here we are. So let's say they do realize it, right? We already know the ones who haven't. You're looking at them every day or every other day or whenever you see them, or if it's you. So say that this couple had an awakening, or they see this video, they hear me speaking, or they just realize it, or somebody else say something, whether it's on the internet or in person or on the phone, however, or they read something somewhere to make them realize or give them an understanding or overstanding or understanding on the situation, and they think to themselves, or back at the couple, right? So they say, either one of those things I mentioned in fake love, right? Or two, or three, or all of them, right? For that fact, right? When they think about those things, right? And they say, okay, wait a minute. Whichever ones apply to y'all. Wait a minute. Wait. You know what? What we got, that's some BS. Like, that's not solid. They ain't got no foundation. We supposed to be unmovable, unbreakable. You see what I'm saying? So, and they realize, okay, man, we got together, man, that ain't about that. Because all them things we just named, feeling sorry for one another, throwing pity parties, being with somebody because you don't want to be alone, and codependency, even though man and woman ain't independent with each other, but not in that type of way. That's why they say be careful of what you hear and how you hear it. Rightly divide that truth, So examine yourselves. Make sure you're in this truth, So try the spirit by the spirit. Examine yourself. Make sure it is what it is, Because we're going to hold the man and woman accountable. This is how we going to handle this. This ain't just no man. This just ain't no woman. No. God made man and woman. Now this one God knows himself. A woman got attributions of God, and a man do too. Some things come natural to her, some come natural to him. And what don't come natural to him, come natural to her. And when his shortcomings there, she can help him. And when her shortcomings there, he can help him. And that's just what it is. And that's what we doing now. We sharpening each other up, Am I my brother's keeper? Am I my sister's keeper? Yes, I am. So we here to give that common ground, that balance. You know, are we all perfect? No, but we aim for perfection so we can arise to being perfect. You see, do we make mistakes? Yeah. The good man, he uphold a good man. Even though he utterly stumble and fall, he uphold him with his right hand. That's right. So with that being said, they realize it, and there you go. That's your fake love. Okay. Now, always solution based. We ain't just here to condemn the world. We're here to save the world. So we saying the fake attributions of love, this is to edify the body. We're going to learn from our mistakes so we can turn water into wine. Yeah. We finna transition, transformation. Yeah. We finna transcend some things. We alchemists, chemists, biochemists. Here we are. So, here's the attributions of real love. What probably everybody been waiting for, because everybody basically know the fake love. You know, we can just see that all the way around us, but it's like we also can see real love too, and that's what we want to do. We want to we don't want to look at each other for we don't want to look at one another, right? Each other, the same thing. We don't want to look at each other for our vices, but instead we want to look at our partners and people we know and everybody we meet, because everything is a relationship. Business, friendships, family ships, you know, relationships, period. You know, we want to look at one another for our virtues, meaning for the ones who don't know that we want to look at each other for the good inside. You know, we want to, hey, you know, I may see some things there, you know, and I'm not to pass judgment, but I am to discern. And like the scripture say, hey, you should have easily judged that thing. And it's like, it's not to condemn, but if we love one another, we're going to give each other the truth. Like, if I love you, I'm going to sit up here and tell you the good, bad, and ugly. I mean, there's no way I can just tell you the good parts. I mean, can you learn from the good? Yeah, but would that be the full truth? No. So you have to understand what you're doing wrong, what we're doing wrong, or else we'll never know like how to fix something if we don't understand it's broken, right? You don't realize that your pipes busted under your house and all the water running out of it. You don't know. You know? So you continue to just get along and go along, you know. You're not realizing, you know, the situation. So that's why he said, I'm going to send you shepherds, you know. But then after a while, you don't want to be forever learning and never coming to the truth. That's why he said, examine yourselves. Look up under that house and check this thing out. And if you don't know, he's going to send people. And when he send people after a while, right? He said, you won't need no man to teach you. You know, he gave David a cup. Shouts out to my boy Watchman. But he say, hey, I'm going to put a well inside of you, right? And you won't need no man to teach you. You know, and every time you need something, you just draw from that well, right? So, it's like you want to be able to know, right? You want to know if you're in the truth, right? You want to know if you're in a real situation, right? And this is the way to know. I mean, we're dealing with real love. For some of you, that might feel like, hey, I done straight out. No, I'm just giving you an inner honor and understanding from almost every angle. But we're not going to go too many angles because this will be longer, which nothing's wrong with that. But for the people in the back and for the people like need shorts, you know, I will be doing this over again so we can kind of narrow it down. I have the things narrowed down, but just I would love to edify the body. You know, it's my passion. You know, and you know what helps you helps me. You know, and what faith comes by hearing the word, and the word of God. So let's put God first, right? And as we know, well, I'm not gonna say that because I just wrote it today and I haven't memorized it, but you'll hear it sometime in the future. But no, you're not missing nothing. We know to put God first. It was just a little saying, you know. So, okay, the first attribution of real love would be, real love is what you make it and whom you make it with. And we could, for some who, you know, have a good ear of hearing, and I say this because you can also, because we want to rightly divide the truth, you can also put that on the borderline between fake love and real love, because, you know, just as we seen this other couple in fake love, it was what they made, you know, because remember I said, hey, we do have a choice, and that's what they choose. That's what they made it, and whom they made it with. Choose this day whom you were serving. That's what they chose to serve. But let's keep our eye on the high calling, on the prize. Let's focus, right? So let's get back to real love. So real love is what you make it and whom you make it with, right? Real love don't keep no list of wrongs. Real love, by not keeping a list of wrongs, right? If somebody say Jane did this, or Joe did that, Adam did this, Eve did that, right? So, when people say that, y'all know how to fit y'all name in it, each man, each woman, right? Y'all saying to yourselves, okay, I'm keeping a list of wrongs, right? You know, instead of me thinking about things are worthy of being praised and seeing the virtue in my significant other, my spouse, my partner, my husband, my wife, my boyfriend, my girlfriend, I'm seeing all the negative things, right? So when that happens, the man or woman gonna be looking like, hey, you know, what kind of spirit do you have? I mean, you keep a list of wrongs? Okay. So I'm saying to say that, even though we on real love, but that why it would be real, because a person that's real is not gonna, that's really have love for you and themselves and other people, they're not gonna be keeping no list, right? If anything, they learned from that and they have a experience, and if that comes up again, they're edifying and showing how helping another to come out of a situation, right? Because they've been through it, okay? But what we're saying here is that real love doesn't do that. This is an attribution of real love, right? I want you to remember these things. It's going to make a big difference in the concluding statement. So, another attribution to real love would be when one would say, okay, real love attribution is when he or she, man or woman, husband or wife, can forgive one another, right? If you can't, we know that's fake love. So let's rightly divide it. So if one would say, yeah, baby, a husband or wife, him, her, I forgive you, but I don't forget. But I haven't forgotten. Most people would say. So that's not real love. Real love, you forgot that thing. Like I say, unless you using it for edification purposes of the body, showing how you overcame that thing. But for your spouse, your significant other, for you to sit to remember it, to feel, well, not fulfilled, but to have an empty void in your heart, in your space, in your mind, in your spirit, in your soul about something that you were supposed to forgave them for it, because real love forgives and it forgets. He's wiped your slate clean. For him to forgive you, for the father to forgive you, for the mother to forgive you, is that you have to forgive others, or else you can never live. You can never have real life. You're gonna have a struggle. And the reason why you have to forget, that's because, remember Lot's wife? She couldn't forget, right? So she looked back. She looked back on Sodom and Gomorrah, right? So that's a parable, right? Right? That's showing how one is looking back on their problems, or the thing that make them feel uncomfortable, the thing that is not worthy of being praised. He told you to focus on things that are worthy of being praised. So if you're in real love, you're focusing on what's worthy of being praised. And the way somebody did you is not worthy of being praised, or how you did somebody when you can't forgive yourself and you can't forgive others, and you're focusing on the worst. Not for it to, if you're looking at the worst in a way that it's teaching you so you learn from it, that's a beautiful thing. Remember Sister Taylor, the nun, she said, hey, it's good to make mistakes so you learn from it. That's why they say be careful of what you hear and how you hear it. But if you twisting it to not forgive somebody, but yet you think you deserve love, well, if you feel like you deserve love, well, give love. You can't look for somebody to give you something that you're not becoming and that you're not are, but you could be, because everybody got God in them. And he wants you to activate it like you activate a phone or computer or anything else. It's like the sunlight activates us and gives us energy. And let's not forget oxygen, and hydrogen. So with these things being said, it's like we have to forgive if we want real love. This is for the ones, looking to turn water into wine, want real love, or that already have it, hallelujah. To thee, to them, to you, whoever realized to carry this attribution of real love. So now we rightly divided that. Let's go on with the next attribution. Okay, so real love would be when one would say, we know this, but I have to write it divided for the people in the back. Okay. Real love, speaking of long suffering. Yeah, long suffering. Real love is about how much you can take, how much you can endure from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. That's real love. Yeah, it's about how much you can take. But we don't rightly divide the truth, because that don't mean be nobody fool now, how much you can take. Real love is about how much you can endure, because gold must be tried by fire, and the fiery furnace of adversity, It must be tried. We all must thrust through. You know what? We all know diamonds was made under pressure. Remember, I told the storm. So, with that being said, it's like we're gonna use the same scenario, but we're gonna put it in a different way, right? But because we're focusing on the real love this time. So say a bump comes in the road, right? Or a storm comes, right? A total storm. Or let's say something to attack our finances, right? Or let's say somebody say something to come between us, right? Or somebody do something to come between us, right? Or let's say we say something ourselves or do something to come between us, right? Well, if we boyfriend and girlfriend, right? And we decide to quit. Or if we husband and wife, right? And we decide to opt out or divorce, right? Well, we all know that we're real love from the get-go, right? Cause why? Cause a three-chord string ain't easily broken. Real love stands a test of time, right? Real love covers a multitude of sin. Gold must be tried by fire in the fiery furnace of adversity. If something real, what? When we used to put that lighter on that gold, send it through that fire, man, a man and woman is God, it's gold, it's good, it's love, right? And if a storm is something attack them in any way and they don't hold together and stand it, I told the storm, right? They don't do that, it wasn't real. I mean, you know what you're dealing with. So, but we're talking about somebody that's actually going through this. And when I mean going through, because some people not gonna make it on the other side. They gonna fall. Or they gonna let the situation burn them up. Or they gonna run. You know, they can't stand the rain. You know, hey, the heat was too hot in the kitchen, so they got out. They ain't down with they self, so they ain't down with you when something come about, right? When two or more come in my name, I'm in the midst. Shit, when a man and woman come to death, ain't no such thing as no devil. So we're gonna get to that. But what I'm saying is the attribution of that real love can't nothing when it's real. So if you're a real woman and you're a real man, if it's real, ain't nothing gonna stop it. Nothing. Huh? Nothing up above, nothing below, nothing in the valley, nothing. Because can't nothing outpower real love. A real man and a real woman. We can conquer the world. Who said that? One of them sayings. Y'all know who it is, though. Man, y'all know who said don't let the elevator break us down. But can't nothing divide that. You know, that's some real talk. There's God talk, real thoughts, and it's real love. You know, and we all find in our search for love, you know, real love. And that's what we searching for. And you seek, you shall find, you know. So let's recognize real love. So that's an attribution of real love. Long suffering. How much you can take. That ain't being foolish. I mean, anything come at you, bullets, life, death, hell, don't matter. Hey, you made it through that thing. And that's just how you gotta be, even when you ain't with nobody. Hey, you gotta make it through everything you do. That's what's gonna make you worthy of this person and that person worthy of you, vice versa. Cause y'all knew these things, y'all understood this stuff. And that's what brought y'all together. That was the attraction. And for the ones at the level that's not there and they already in situation, because we did say we're gonna turn water into wine. Well, in that position, one would just, if they the truth in that person, as the scriptures say, willing to stay with you, hey, you got to have hope, believe, and faith, and love no matter what, and it's going to make it to be what it is. Because nothing can over prevail love. Now, if you're not a believer, because it's not about what I believe, it's about what you believe. So, I mean, you quite right. I mean, it's probably not, because, so is a man or a woman is he thinking. I mean, just the man that says he can't, he's the same as the man that says he can. The man that says he can't, the only reason why he can't, not because he can't, but it's because he says he can't. That's the only reason why he can't. Just like the man that says he can't. The only reason why he can is because he said he can. And if he say he cannot, and we all know this story. So, with that being said, that's an attribution of real love, right? So, and we all know the other attributions, and I roughly say them. Being patient, which is a very virtue. Everybody know, if we be patient with one another, that's love. Even when we don't understand, when one don't understand, him or her. That's why they say, those who hardest to love need it the most. Life takes you many places, but only love brings you back home. So, with that being said, patience, kindness, gentleness, these are attributions of real love. They got more and more. I mean, y'all know how to look them up, and y'all know how to tend. I wanted to just, briefly, touch on some of these things so we can bring it to a full perspective of where we're going with this. And, ultimately turn water into wine, So we have this big cup at the end, right? And this well, we can draw from to fill this cup, right? Let's make it make sense for the people that's in the bag. Let's rightly divide the truth, right? Study to show ourselves approved, workmen, not needed to be ashamed. Rightly divide the word. So, okay. Now we getting close to the conclusion, but it's a couple of things need to be said. So, imagine a man and a woman, right? A man and a woman practicing real love. We're not talking about fake love no more. You don't need to think about that no more. We talking about real love, right? So they practicing these attributions that we just named, right? Not keeping a list of wrongs. Imagine if a woman did that in a man, right? Imagine if a man forgave and he didn't remember. Actually, if a woman forgave and didn't remember, unless she was trying to teach another woman, a mother, a sister, or a niece, a daughter, same thing with a man, for edification purposes only. So think about, they didn't keep no hate in their heart. They kept love, right? Because love is the truth. Like I said, if you got to bring it up for edification purpose, but they're not hurt by it, they're healed because they have love, right? They got love. They're healed, right? Remember, help everybody. Alkaline life, alkaline love. Help everybody. Alkaline life, alkaline love. Heal. So, once we do this, right, and they being kind, they gentle, they taking their time even when the other one don't quite understand, they taking their time. They being patient with one another, right? They gentle, right? Man, that's so much love. So when it come down to this, right? The man and the woman, right? They looking at each other, right? The man say to the woman, "You're not like any woman I ever known." woman look back at the man and say, hey, you're not like any man I ever known. Now what they got is priceless, right? Now God knows himself, right? The woman don't never have to worry about the man looking at another woman, and the man don't have to worry about the woman ever stepping out. You know, he don't have to finesse her. She don't have to finesse him. He don't have to manipulate her. She don't have to manipulate him. She don't have to worry about is she pretty or not. And he don't have to think about, hey, what position I'm gonna hit her in. I'm gonna hit her from the back. You know, it's no more manipulation. It's no more finessing. You know, this God knows himself now, right? In fake love, they were insecure. But this real love, they're secure. They don't have to manipulate things no more. You know, they understand now. So, they understand, and this is what they understand. This is the last two things. And we're going to come with the conclusion. So the last two things gotta be done is this. Him and her, right? She's just not doing this for him to do it back to her. We can say stuff need to be reciprocated, but let me rightly divide the truth for the people that's in the back. She's just not doing this for him to do it back, and he's just not doing this for her to do it back, because that would be fake, right? If you're just doing something because you want somebody to do it back from you to you, I mean, you're looking for love in all the wrong places. What did he say? If you look for the kingdom on the outside of you, you will not find it in men, women, cars, clothes, money, jobs, and idols, just different things. You will not find it, you know. But love is above. It comes from within, right? In the world, you will have trouble in your mind, right? But in me, you will have peace. My peace I give you, for more than you can ever imagine. He says, for I have overcome the world. In the world, you would have trouble. So he calling you, come from out of him. My people come from out of him. You know, but remain in me, and my words remain in you, and whatever you ask, I should do. So, with that being said, they're not doing this, you know, like he can leave, she can leave, they can both, you know, she can kick rocks, he can kick rocks. You know, they know what they want in life now. They know what love is. So if the other person goes, they're not crying because they haven't lost nothing. Let the dead bury the dead. You know, hey, you come follow me. Follow me as I follow Christ. You know? So it's like, this is the greatest love of all. It's inside of you, right? The greatest love of them all. Book about to drop. Yo. So they're not in this state where they're being codependent. Yeah, man ain't independent without woman. Woman ain't independent without man. Man might have knowledge. Woman got transformation. Knowledge without transformation don't equal wisdom, but knowledge with transformation does equal wisdom. You see what I'm saying? It's an interaction, right? It's the yin and the yang. It's the whole thing. It's the whole soul. They together. So left, your right sides, hemispheres of your brain all coming together to make this one thing we call love. Love from above. Love from within. As above, so below. As within, so without. So are you, so is the universe. If you know, you know. So, with that being said, that's that on that. They're not doing it They're not looking outside of themselves for something they already got. They standing on business. They being about their father's business. That's right. And Mother Wisdom, let's not forget her, because it takes the father and the mother. We all want guard her, for she is thy life. Yeah. So much honor comes with her. So much fortune. Yeah. Go at that love energy that's in you. That's her. Cherish her. For she is the life. Guard that. Keep that blood clean. Take care of her. Man, the Son and the Father is one. Look, this is the marriage, the alchemical marriage. So, with that being said, this comes to conclusion. It's the end. It's the love story. But remember, it never ends. Life is forever. This is eternal life. He gives us eternal love, eternal life. Here it is. The New Jerusalem, heaven on earth. So, like he said, it is finished. It's done. It's finished. There's no more looking outside of you no more. Need something, you draw from that well inside. So, the conversation got to be here, right? This is the conclusion. The man, the woman, somebody got to have a sense, right? That's why they say husbands. The blind can't lead the blind. They're both following Jesus. Husbands, how you don't know you won't save your wives. Wives, how you don't know you won't save your husbands. So, the conversation got to be had. She got to approach him. He approach her. No matter whoever got the sense at the time. Whoever coming to the truth first, right? So, they come together, right? And they have the conversation. And they say one to another, right? And they say, you know, I never really thought about what I wanted in a relationship, but now I did, you know. I realized what I wanted, you know, like making fake love, you know, hey, when I was in fake, when we all in fake love, we never really thought about what we wanted. That's why we was getting along to go along, living momentarily, just feeling sorry and all these things, you know, for edification purpose, not that we looking back. So, but now I know what I want, you know. And as we mentioned, all the attributions of real love, yeah. So, you know. And I would, you know, I proposed that, you know, I was thinking about it, you know. I never really thought what I wanted in a relationship, but now I have. And I feel like if we do these things, that we could, you know, like, this would help our relationship, this would help our life, our success, and, you know, in all parts of our relationship. Love, but of course, first, you know, finances, you know, with our children, child, or anything you can think of, or, you know, just us being as one, you know, every part of our life, because love covers a multitude of sins. Let's not forget that. But, and I propose that if you would you like to practice the fruits of the Spirit with me? Because as we know, where God joins together, should no man depart, right? With God, meaning them attributions we spoke of, right? Intimo, right? Of real love, right? He says, what's in my hand can't be plucked out, right? So, with that being said, if they look at you, right, and they don't end up saying like, okay, yeah, you know, I think that's a great idea, or yeah, let's work on that, or yeah, or sure, I'm with that. You know, they do anything outside of agreeing with it and perhaps act like they don't know what you're talking about. blow you off, laugh at it, change the subject, the situation. Right then and there, because I mean, as you can see, nothing we said here was a Chinese arithmetic. Nothing to the Chinese. That's just a saying, meaning like you guys are smart. Let's clear that up. I want to rightly divide that because I love all. And when we say that arithmetic, meaning like it's not nothing so hard to break, right? Or to understand. He said, I give it to a child that they know. So, and that's, we all have a saying of when somebody's trying to tell you who they are, believe them, right? And overstand and understand them and forgive them for what they do not do. But you're at a situation where, okay, if these things happen, okay, you choose this day, are you doing the long suffering part of real love, or you understand now what's going on? Sometimes you have to understand things and deal with people where they are at, it's your choice. Just naming the choices. And, like I say, those who hardest to love need it the most. So, in these type of situations, you want to look at this thing in a way that you have to understand, and understand that people could be talking to you and they could be making a lot of sense on what they're saying. And then that same person you dealing with in that relationship, right? It's going to come times where they might not get it. And it may be that they might not want to do it as well. But sometimes when people don't want to do things that's good for them, we have to understand and understand, and also understand that if they're not willing to do something that's going to be beneficial for them and you and y'all as a union, a relationship or a family or whatnot, that you have to forgive them for what they do not know what they do. Because if you actually believe that they don't want good for themselves, because remember, you got faith, hope, and love, and the greatest is love no matter what. But you have to also see things from every angle too, to make it make sense. Rightly divide the truth. Say it loud for the people that's in the back. Blow them trumpets. Sound off. So that's gonna put you in a situation where you want to know better, because you don't want to blind lead the blind. You don't want to be foolish as the other person. Well, let's just say you don't want to. Both of y'all don't want to be misunderstanding. Hey, it's gonna be a time. Somebody gotta have a sense. So, say you the one with the sense, right? So you're gonna have to deal with them with real love, and you're gonna have to be an example, right? But remember, two can't walk together unless agreed, right? A house divided cannot stand. Somebody gonna have a sense. So if you love that person or you love yourself, like I say, more than 7 watchmen on the wall, only you know your own soul better than anybody. Choose this day whom you will serve. I hope that helps. Thank you. And what had happened is, things that I might have mentioned in the last video and this video, I'll be doing these videos over and over till we get all the things that perhaps I wanted to say but didn't get a chance to say, or probably didn't remember or forgot to say. May y'all be blessed. God is with you. Take him with you wherever you go. All things hold because of him, and all things hold through him, and all things